Hello, I'm Anindya, CTO at Saankhya Labs. I manage the research and development of the 5G products as well as the 5G broadcast portfolio that we have at Saankhya Labs. I think the World Telecommunication Day holds a lot of importance for all of us who are working in the communication sector. The pandemic has really shown us the importance of having seamless connectivity, high-speed connectivity, which enables us to work from home, work, and carry out various functions while keeping the economy alive. So, there couldn't be a better time, to reinforce the importance of communication than the World Telecommunication Day. I think the three people whom I fondly remember for their contribution towards on this day are the father of wireless, Mr. Jagdish Chandra Bose. He was one of the first people who invented the radio receiver, which was further used by Marconi. Then the other person is Maxwell, and everybody has learned Maxwell's electromagnetic equations. I think his equations basically set the foundation stone of radio wave propagation. And the third person is Claude Shannon, who basically came up with the mathematical model of how a digital communication should happen. And I think these are the foundational fathers whom I salute on this World Telecommunication Day. This year, Saankhya Labs is basically building the 5G products, which are ORAN compliant, mainly the DU and the RU. The RU is basically, as you all know, is the radio unit, and DU is the distributed unit, which does mainly the layer 1 and layer 2 functions. Besides this, we are also looking at an emerging market of cellularized broadcast, and we call that as 5G broadcast, where we use the ATC3 technology for doing a cellularized distribution. This is also coupled with a direct-to-mobile receiver, which we are building and soon plan to deploy. So 5G promises to boost the digital ecosystem of India by furthering the Digital India vision, and this is something which basically through the use cases which 5G has enabled, specifically high speed connectivity, ultra low latency, high reliability, and all that. It promises to flourish a new service models, new business models in the areas of healthcare, smart cities, agriculture, as well as manufacturing. It will enable Industry 4.0. So these are some of the major domains where 5G promises to touch and revolutionize the way connectivity happens and enables further additional innovative services and innovative delivery models. Yes, India's infrastructure is definitely ready to offer seamless 5G connectivity. We already are hearing operators doing several trials in various parts of India, and the results look very promising. So definitely, I think we have a fiberized backbone which can take on the kind of traffics that we expect or anticipate in 5G. If you look at rural areas, the BharatNet project has made sure that most of the remote villages are connected with fiber. So there also, I think there is a lot of promise because of the strong backbone that exists in terms of for 5G deployment. So yes, we think India's infrastructure is ready for 5G deployment. As I said earlier, Sankhya is building a lot of products in 5G related to the radio units, the distributed units. We are building some amount of innovation in terms of making the, the, the distributed units cloudified in a very different way. And this is something which will give a lot of benefits in terms of the total cost of operations, the TCO, to the operators by bringing down power, by reducing power, and by giving cost benefits in terms of the OPEX. Yeah, satellite communication has always been one of the strong pillars of our communication. And definitely, we see the role of satellite and 5G very complementary. If you look at the different satellite modes of transmission which existed, the bent pipe and the regenerative pipe, we find that the work which is going on in 3GPP will actually extend those, where you can think of the DU and the RU and the CU being co-located or being distributed in various kind of architectures. So what we see today in 3GPP, especially the work being done in NTN, we find that for all kinds of deployments, mainly Geo, LEO, and MEO, there are various use cases and various deployment architectures being come up with, which will really make 5G extend from what should I should say terrestrial to the sky and enable ubiquitous connectivity.